In here just with a little tip. Now, quite often I'm dealing with dogs with problems. It's, you know, if they've got recall issues or they've got loose leash issues or, you know, manners, jumping about the place, mobbing people, mobbing other dogs, all of that sort of stuff. Quite often what's happening is people are finding it really, really difficult. They're finding it really difficult to move forward, and they're finding it really difficult. You know, they take advice from somewhere and they try and apply it and they can't apply it. And it's not because the training that they're doing is wrong. It's because they haven't dealt with what is driving the behaviour. So for example, I dealt with a little dog at the weekend who was just off the scale, jumping up on people when people come into the house. Now, I must admit, it was probably one of the worst cases of I am beside myself and beyond myself to see you that I have ever seen in my life. He's jumping up, he's scratching you, he just wouldn't stop, he's biting, mouthing inappropriately, and there's nothing wrong with him. He didn't need a telling off for doing that because he was just so off the scale excited to see you. Now we can try tons of things. You could try, like, you know, reinforcing an opposite behaviour, which is a sit, or food scattering when he came in the door, or, you know, heaven forbid, telling him off for doing it and pushing him down onto the ground. But it wasn't his behaviour that was the issue. It wasn't what he was doing that was the problem. It was how he was that was the problem. Just this sheer ball of excitement just coming at you. Now, don't get me wrong. I like an excitable dog. I like a dog with a bit of drive. I don't like the sort of just sit in the corner miserable dogs. I do like a dog to, say hi Floyd. I do like a dog to want its own things out of life and be really happy about it and be a little bit zebedee about it, and that's absolutely fine. But this was just like off the scale. So what we had discussed was controlling his excitement levels, and he can only do that. We can't do that. You can't control someone else's excitement. They can only do it themselves. So we've got to slow them right down and slow everything down. Now, a lot of people would think and believe that if I up the exercise, then I'm going to tire them out. It's just wrong, because when you get something that's so drivey, so pushed, so just loves to do this sort of behaviour, which he loved, he thought it was great, or he thinks it's great, then all the exercise in the world is never going to stop that. In fact, that can be counterproductive, because when we do lots and lots of exercise, we actually push up a dog's adrenaline levels, which can actually make things much, much worse. So, although exercise is good, I'm not saying don't exercise your dog, but by running the legs off them is not going to tackle these behaviours. It can actually make these behaviours a lot worse. So you got to teach the dog just to slow down a little bit. It's the same when I'm dealing with some reactivity issues with dogs, with like their fear-based behaviours. It's not their lunging and snarling and growling and snapping that's the problem. Well, it is, essentially, but that's not driving the problem. What's driving that behaviour is that they just don't feel safe. So we can do all the training in the world, but if we don't cover the first base, which is A, make the dog feel safe, or A, get the dog just to chill out a little bit so that it's able to learn, then we're just throwing good time away. So here's my tip. If you've got a problem with your dog, or just even a little training issue, something that you've tried for a while to sort of, you know, sort out, and you're getting nowhere, I can guarantee you that it's probably not the way you're training that's the problem. It's how the dog feels about the situation that's causing the issue in your training. And you are always better to get a wee pro to come out and help you out there, just to help you pinpoint it and maybe help you get on a level standing so that your training then does work. So yeah, that's the moral of my story today. And it's not because your dog's stubborn, and it's not because your dog's stupid, and it's not because you don't know or you're not magical with dogs or anything like that. It's just quite often the dog just isn't in the correct state of mind to be a positive learner, and we have to help them with that. But this is the base where I always start with. So if you're having a problem, get in touch. I'll help you sort that from the grassroots level. Thanks for watching. Happy training. Bye from me and Floyd. Bye.